We've heard it all before. Theories of an asteroid crashing into Earth, predictions by Nostradamus, and even technological chaos with the Y2K bug. Theories about our civilization coming to an end are almost as old as civilization itself. And now is no different. By February of this year, and with so many disasters back to back, the world was feeling very fragile.
We often forget, that it's not just broken bodies that occur in the aftermath of these disasters, but, there's tremendous psychological impact on the people affected.
I would hope that this earthquake in Japan would be regarded as the worst of it.
So are we experiencing more disasters? Or does it just feel that way because of the advancements in information technology?
I wonder if there had been flip phone cameras and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook back in the Middle Ages, what we would have thought about the world. It's extraordinary to think that any time there is a bizarre, a frightening, a tragic event anywhere in the world, now we have access.
It looks like a scene from a movie, but this is for real.
With Japan's nuclear reactors in meltdown, images of a different chaos were emerging, this time from Libya. Simultaneously, some inexplicable codes were being highlighted in the Torah.
Yes, interesting table on Gaddafi. It just like Mubarak, it said Gaddafi will fall. I got that table a few weeks ago when the whole Libyan situation started. But the interesting thing about it is that it came up in the same area of the scripture where Saddam Hussein will fall was also found a few years ago. I find that interesting. You can't force the Torah codes to come up in a specific spot. They're going to come up where the information is.
So have the answers been right in front of us the whole time? Nonsense, says one Aussie, who took up the challenge of proving the Bible and Torah code wrong by using the classic novel of Moby Dick and his own computer code.
I've spent a very, very large amount of time studying this. We tried and we tried, we did experiment after experiment. What did we find? Nothing. So as far as we can see, there in fact is no evidence at all that the Bible codes are real.
Look, you get a small probability in Moby Dick and you get a large probability in the Torah text. You see, it doesn't mean anything. This is not an experiment, this is a parlor trick. And McKay is nothing more than a magician.
While skeptics of the code do exist, believers say they have found way too many codes which are statistically off the charts.
If you have a powerful enough computer and a text that's long enough, the computer will make up codes for you. The difference is that when it's done in the Torah code, the results are much more compact and statistically significant.
By March 2011, the Libyan crisis had escalated, and so had hits on survival websites.
This is a series of videos introducing people to the concept of preparedness and planning ahead in order to protect themselves and their loved ones in times of crisis or disaster.
The absolute one thing that I have to stress in this video is once the crisis starts, you will not be able to get hold of this equipment.
As you know, we live in uncertain times and any disaster can happen at any time. There's all kinds of different scenarios that you should be prepared for.
So could serious upheaval in the Middle East region spell the end of the world as we know it?
As an astrologer, I believe 2012 is going to be what we make of it. Because Uranus is in now the sign of Aries, which is unfortunately the sign of Mars, which is the planet of war, we are going to see unexpected uprisings, unexpected flashes of unrest, as we've seen with Libya suddenly percolating to the top of the world agenda. There's going to be things like that. Does it have to be cataclysm and the end of the world? Absolutely not.
Libya responded to the crisis in a particular way, through force. But the concern in terms of the market is what happens if it spreads to Saudi Arabia? What happens if they can't continue to produce oil? What happens if in that part of the region that we're not going to see the normal oil production? And that's the concern.
Throughout March and into April, a series of earthquakes continued to rock the Pacific Ring of Fire. March 17th, California. March 17th, Vanuatu. March 23rd, Burma and Thailand. And on March 25th, Japan is hit again. Meanwhile, thousands of dead fish continue to surface in Florida, Texas, and around the world.
Some of the tables that we've gotten on 2012, one specifically that says purification of the earth in 2012. No doubt it needs purification with all of the pollution and radiation and everything else that is now permeating the earth in almost every area of the planet.
These thousands of birds falling from the sky, these millions of fish washing ashore. It's not a biblical tragedy unfolding when you get these severe weather events. It just pushes them, and eventually it's like the kid that eventually has been pushed around the schoolyard long enough. He eventually snaps. And these animals are no different, and unfortunately, that's just the reality of wildlife.
Up next, NASA is chiming in to calm the waters.
All this 2012 talk is just a hoax. It's a fake.
At some point, we've all asked ourselves what we'd grab in a fire or a flood. Our loved ones, some photos, our pets. But now we're being asked, what would you grab in the face of a massive solar storm? It's an interesting question, isn't it?
There are people that have gone way out into the desert and they've bought up missile silos, and they're converting them into apartments so that if there is like some kind of terrible nuclear attack, or if there's an asteroid or whatever, that they'll be protected from that. Finding higher elevations, to me, makes more sense than digging underground to find shelter that way, especially if there is something as crazy as a crustal displacement or the continents start to move. You wouldn't want to be there, that's for sure.
There has never been a prophecy the same as the one of the ancient Mayans. There's been prophecies, but nothing that a whole culture believed in, nothing from so far back, nothing that gave us a specific end date. That alone is of concern, and I implore people to prepare for it just in case something bad happens.
The message from the skeptics is quite different.
Be scared that we are in retreat from reason, where so many people can so passionately believe in an end of the world that is coming through climate change or through a 2012 prophecy without any ability to explain what is the evidence that's informing that sick belief. It's not true. Life is great. The planet's fine, and you'll be fine.
Astrologers say 2012 isn't showing anything too unusual. So perhaps we should approach this from a different angle.
There's a huge opportunity for people to learn. There's a huge opportunity for people to reprioritise and to actually think about what they actually stand for, what is most important to them.
But humans are doing a lot more than reprioritising. They're prepping.
Started this about six, 7 months ago. Things getting worse. Economy going to hell. Emergency Essentials is where I order a lot of my stuff from. Tell you what, people, you know, for anybody watching this and think, oh, these guys are crazy, they're, you know, just waiting for bad stuff to happen. It's happened before, you know. You can be prepared or not, but you'll be the one begging if something bad happens. You drive a car, you got a car insurance policy, right? Well, you also have a life insurance policy for your family to take care of you if something bad happens. That's what this is. It is a life insurance policy while you're still living.
NASA is 99.9% certain no asteroids are headed our way that would impact us or do us any harm this year or next year. But they very conveniently don't mention comets. A comet could be heading our way and we would not see it yet. A comet is also something that the ancient Mayans could have seen and predicted the return of. So when NASA says everything's fine, well, they're omitting part of the equation.
All this 2012 talk is just a hoax. It's a fake. It's nothing you should worry about. I get questions from many people who are really scared, even some young people who have said they're contemplating suicide, this sort of thing. It's really sad. And the point of my talking to you now is just to explain to you that there is no problem there. And that the many things you see on the internet and YouTube where people claim that there is some horrible threat about to descend on us are not true. Don't worry about 2012 and enjoy 2013 when it comes.
Well, what I hope happens, if there is destruction, that it's for our benefit and the Earth's benefit, that it cleanses the Earth and gets it ready for the next age, which will be just something incredible.
I don't know why they think the 21st of December 2012 is significant, when actually 2013 we'll see some very significant breakthroughs in space. By 2015 we'll have a spacecraft flying by Pluto. All these things are things to look forward to and are really much more important and much more significant than anything related to December the 21st, 2012.
They say there are only two things in life you can be sure of: death and taxes. No one can be absolutely certain what the future holds, and maybe in some way that's a good thing. Our scientists, however, do agree that the Earth has an expiration date, but no one is prepared to say whether it's next year or in 5 billion years. For now, all we can hope for is that the next 100 days is less eventful.